Hi, welcome to Dark Horse Matters with Bev. This podcast is a place where creative minds and ambitious souls can come to share their journey and just talk about. A lot of people I interview here are entrepreneurs, business owners, and just passionate people who want to talk about their pursuit in life and what they're trying to achieve. And my hopes for this podcast is to inspire others to really look at what they want to do in life and just take action and go after it. We live in such an amazing country that we have the freedom to pursue our happiness. Why don't we, right? Why don't we take, initiative and really, really work towards intently going after our true happiness in life? And that's what I want to inspire in people on this show. So, please subscribe to this channel and share it with your friends because I have a plethora of guests that are coming to share such amazing, amazing stories and just powerful ways on impacting the community. So today I have a incredible guest. I'm so happy to introduce her to you. I've known her for a couple of decades. I've looked up to her for many years. She is such a strong entity of energy and just a powerful leader. We work together in financial services industry, and she is just an incredible source of education and just she's helped so many people and I look up to her. I want to be just like her when I grow up. So I am so excited to introduce you to her so she can share her story of how she got here and why she's doing this really important crusade and journey. So, um, everybody, welcome Aisha Virzi.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Beverly. How are you?
I'm so good. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you coming to share your story with everyone because I've known you for years and I just feel so fortunate that I had, a mentor like you, not only just now in this business, but just in life. We've been through a lot together and, we've been through a time where we kind of disconnected too. And that was probably when we both had kids around the same time.
That's
A lot of
right.
times when you're a parent, you just kind of focus just on being a parent. But
Yeah,
I'm so happy that we reconnected and that you're here and we're working together and I get to see you every week.
I know, me too. Likewise, Bev. Such a blessing, right? Such a blessing. Yes.
So I wanted to start by just going down memory lane and just trying to think about what my very first encounter with you was like. And I thought about it and gosh, I mean, I was like a baby at the time. I was 19 years old. I was 19 years old, 18 or 19, I can't remember. And
Yep.
you were 27 at the
Yes,
time.
yes.
I remember I got my first job in retail was at Nine West with Jones of New York. Actually, they weren't even with Jones of New York at that time. It was that long ago. But I was under a different management at first. And I was with the company maybe for like a couple weeks before you came on board. But I what I remember very specifically was the shift in the culture and the way the store was managed when you came on. It was so different. Like the previous manager, she was really fun and everybody loved her. And but as far as organization was and productivity, yeah. I mean, I just remember the big, huge box of mismatched shoes that we had to search for. And when you have only a few minutes to help a customer, that took a really long time and it just made us look very unprofessional sometimes. But I remember when you came on board, um, it was just immediately different. Like there was this organized, like the stock room had like this color coded like wall of of you. I mean, you could not lose a shoe because you knew exactly where it was. And I was just like, oh my God, like this is amazing. And after that, I just remember just hanging onto your coattail and just learning anything that I could from you. And you just really taught me what true customer service was, and which is kind of a dying thing these days. Like you don't even interact with
No,
people anymore.
no,
And
no.
yeah, I just really, really learned a lot from you, and just in how to talk to people and um, communication and customer service. I just really appreciate that. And Gosh, that was such a long time ago.
You know, Bev, before I just want to say thank you for this opportunity. And for me, it's actually a blessing that you and I got back again, reconnected again, because now you're doing this. I'm just super proud of you, and just the professionalism you have, and just the growth, as a woman trying to pursue your dreams and what you want to accomplish as well. This is so amazing, and I'm just so proud of you. And going back, like you said, when we we met many years ago in retail, it's just making me laugh because I just remember that you and your sister and your friends, and then me coming in there as a new manager in the environment. But I think what I remember of you is you were fun, but also that you were hardworking. You were a very hardworking young lady, and so when you came, even with all the shock of change, you adapted really fast. And I love that about you, because you didn't worry about, oh, things are changing, our fund manager is gone. Instead, you adapted. And to me, that showed a lot of maturity, even for a young person. And you were so fun because you have so many friends. They always come to look for you. And so that was just wonderful. That was wonderful. So I remember that, and you and your sister. And then sometimes, are you guys playing a trick on me? Say, who is it? Is this Beverly or Kim? What? Like double, what is going on here? And he said, oh yeah, that's my sister. So that is what I remember. Just the fun times, that even though I was a manager that was kind of strict and concise in what I did, and organized, and just with productivity and just helping everybody out, I love the fact that I had you, because you guys were fun. You made it fun. You made the time go back. I actually have photos of you and I standing taking pictures when we had all those merchandise in the in the store. It's just so great. So
And
that's what
and
I
don't
remember.
and
That
don't
you were
forget the
fun.
Christmas parties.
Oh my gosh. We have Christmas parties. See, I said Beverly is a fun house. We go to the
Yep, I used to host a Christmas party every
I
year.
know, and she makes that chicken, man. They fry this chicken that we have to eat. It's just delicious. You know, I remember that as if it was just yesterday when we go to your apartment, you and your sister, and everybody's always at Beverly's house.
And it
And
was
myself, even though I love to hang with them, it's just so much fun. And then you did my photo shoot through that time. I still have the pictures on my wall. It was amazing times. It
It
was.
was, and I just remember I had the ghettoest apartment, but I always hosted the Christmas party every year, and everybody wanted to be there because it just had that energy, you know?
So much fun. It was just so much fun. And we just laughed and had a great time. Yes, definitely. That's what I
So
remember.
so Aisha, I wanted to talk about, like your journey on coming to leaving your country. Like what inspired you? Like, what was your drive and your intent for leaving home? Because what country are you from? Let's
I'm
tell the
from
audience that.
Nigeria. Yeah, that's a good question. I'm from Nigeria. My parents, you know, it was amazing. I think it's funny how when you are who you are, and there's this dream you have for yourself. And I remember when I was in high school, we have these magazines that came from America, and you see all this. You know how all the stories you watch on TV. What do they call them?
Like
The
soap
show
operas?
soap operas, but they put it in books, right? But it's in a book form, and then it tells you the story with all of them walking and talking, and then you see, and then with the little blurbs, and but they're all from America. And so a friend, maybe they travel abroad, they bring it, and you read, you're like, oh my gosh, I wish my life would be like this one day. Never thinking that this will ever happen. Isn't it amazing that what you internalize and hope for becomes reality? So one of my friend just came back from the United States, and we were just just chatting in college, and she said, Aisha, I think we should go to America one day. I said, I would love to go to America one day. And then I thought it was a big joke. And I told my parents, I said, Mom, Dad, you know what? My friend said maybe one day I'll be able to go to America. They said, what? I said, yeah. I said, wouldn't that be amazing to go to America, to go to school? My dad said, if it's true, honestly, it'll be great. And I said, would you let me go though? He said, well, if it is God's will, of course, if it's God's will, He'll open the way for you to go. And kid you not, it actually happened. My friend came, and then she came back and said, Aisha, we're gonna go. Let's go. I'll get our visas and we'll go. And we went. I went. I couldn't believe it. We got a visa and we left. We came to America, 1992.
1992. So what state did you come? Was it always Los Angeles?
Always Los Angeles. I've always been in California my entire time in the United States. And
Wow.
yeah, so we came, and then when we came, it was for to go to school. We wanted to go to school, and the goal was to get the education, graduate, and go back home. Literally, it wasn't to stay here and have a life. No, it was to come, get your education, and then go back and impact the knowledge back home. Because there's something about when you study, because for us, education is everything for us, right? If you figured if you go, you study and you graduate, then you take that degree and go back home and get an incredible job there and help the whole country or your whole state. But then of course things change, and then I'm here.
How many brothers and sisters do you have?
Well, I'm one of 10.
10. And were you the only one who left home?
I'm the one and only generation of my family in this country. Just me.
Wow, that
Yeah.
is so incredible. I'm sure, everyone in your family looks up to you, that you're so
Oh,
brave.
me too. And even sometimes when I sit down and I think about it, it's quite an accomplishment for a woman to leave way home back from Africa and come and still with no brother, sister, dad, mom, just make decision on your own, and then with friends along the way, people like you and everybody along the way, and just form this new identity and new family structure. You know what I mean? It's amazing, really. Even I think about like that's pretty crazy.
So when you first arrived in LA, like, how did you feel? Was it like culture shock? Like, I mean, I'm sure it was like, did you get scared and like, did you like get homesick and want to just quit
That
and
is
go home?
yeah, Beverly, that's a great question. When I arrived, I remember honestly in my mind's eye, just like it was yesterday. It was actually a day like this because it was kind of drizzling, like a little mist in the air. And I was so eager to come because it was such a long journey. It's like 18 hours. It's very long journey. So when we arrived and the airport was so busy, and I've never been to anything like that before. Where there's airport, there's people everywhere, and then you go through immigration, and then you come out. And then I remember when the doors open out of the airport and you walk out into the street, and I just looked at it, I'm like, oh my God, it's beautiful, right? So that was my first impression was beauty and awe. Like, this is amazing. And
You're
then
in
when
awe of the smog in Los Angeles. Ooh, the brown air. It's so beautiful.
I know, right? It was like, but to me, it was like, oh, this is different. And I think it was more because it's more buildings, like big buildings that I'm not used to. I'm used to more like regular, but big buildings. And then it was drizzling. And when the driver picked us up and we're driving up down the freeway, I can remember looking out the window. Till today, when I drive on the freeway, that feeling comes back. It's just a feeling of a lot of cars passing you by and you're driving, and it's just beautiful. That was my
I can relate to that because I'm from Hawaii originally, and the first time I ever came to LA, I had that same feeling. I was just like, "Oh my God!" It was just so overwhelming, and different from Hawaii. It was a culture shock for me too, even though I'm from the same country, but
yeah, I know because it's so different, right? Yeah. And but then I know you asked about, did I feel? Yes, I did. After a while, the thing that shocked me the most in America is you see cars with no people, while in Africa there's more foot traffic. You see more people. There's more people than cars. So not seeing that is just so. I thought it would maybe because we're driving from the freeway, but then when we moved to our apartment, it was still the same. You don't see anybody. That was kind of weird to me, and for a while I didn't like that because you're home all the time. There's nobody coming in. Well, in Africa, because people are already up 6 a.m. They already said their prayers already. They're already out and about. They come to your house, knock on the door. Good morning. How's everybody doing? They sit down for a minute. And then more people are coming in the house. You're just used to that. And they hear there's nobody for days. Nobody.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I never thought about it that way, but you're right. It's like there's people everywhere, but you don't interact with people unless there's a very specific intent to.
That's not, yeah, that is so, that I cried after, I think the first week was fun because it's new and different. And you went to McDonald's for the first time, like, what is this? I didn't, what is this? what is this? They say, eat it together. I'm like, oh, okay. It was all, and then you eat, and then you're like, wow, what is this? Everything was, what is this? But then you loved it. It was fun. And then after a while, you look around, like, this is it. And then nothing. And you just start crying, like, because you're used to people come to the house. That was a shock that was more painful. The the disconnected from people. But I
Right.
loved what I saw on the outside, but that was different. No people around.
So, what was your very first job that you got when you came?
That's a good one. When I was in, after college, or I think I was still in college, and then I started working at Jack in the Box. That was my first.
Ironically, that was the first job I applied for when I was 16, but I didn't get the job. Ironically, it was Jack in the Box too.
Job at Jack in the Box. I got a job at Jack in the Box, really, and I will walk to my, because our apartment is close to the place of work, so I just walk to my place of work, and I loved my job. I was so dedicated.
I
When I
just,
wiped
yeah.
that table, I wiped that table with every intent you can think about.
I just picture you. You ever seen that movie Coming to America with
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy? I
Yes.
just picture you like Akeem, he was mopping the floor with such
Totally.
pride.
With pride, man. If my manager was like, "What kind of a person is this one? Clean table with such pride and make sure everything is like straight."
Do you
Ah,
remember me at Nine West? How much pride I took in mopping the floor too? I didn't let anybody mop. That was like my
no,
job.
like, I am gonna mop the floor. I got it. I got it, guys. I remember that.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
so funny. Yeah,
we're
but
so alike in so many
we
ways.
are. I think now that we're now moms, I see that. That's why I was laughing. I said, "Bev, you and I are so similar. It's so funny. It's like crazy." But yeah. So I would clean the table. Do you know? I actually moved up the rank so quickly because they said, "This is." I became a manager right away because they said that I was so dedicated. I was never late for work. Never,
I'm
ever
not
called out sick.
surprised. I'm
Never.
not surprised about that.
So
How did
that
you
was my
find your
first job.
way to the fashion industry?
It's so exciting because when I went back home, I want to be a pharmacist because in Africa, it's like you're a doctor, lawyer, pharmacist, okay? Nothing else will do for your family. Doctor, I'm like, so when I came to America, I said, oh, I can be in fashion. When I went to college, when I sat down with the counselor, they said, yeah. I said, fashion class? That's what I want to do. They're like, oh, I thought you said pharmacy. I said, no, there's fashion. Honestly, that was how I switched from wanting to do pharmacy straight to fashion. So I did that in college, and I was actually so much fun. My professors were amazing, amazing professors, and I learned so much from them. And that was how it began my journey in fashion industry. Graduated tops and have a minor in consulting, fashion consulting, and then started my journey.
And you just fit the role. Like ever since I met you, you're always so well put together. I've never seen you look terrible. I mean, with you know what I mean? Like you're always like put together. Like I've never seen you like walking around in sweats and like flip flops. I've never seen that side of you.
That is so funny. It's so true. And even my husband said that too. But you know what? My dad was in the military. I was born and raised in a military base. So I'm used to very structure. I'm used to structure and neatness and preciseness. My mom was the same way. Even in her cultural clothing, she was put together. Everything went together. Everything that she had on was clean. There was no just messy, never. And so we grew up in that kind of environment. So I guess I just continued that way. And I didn't even think about it because we're all the same. We're all like that. So it's so funny. But yeah.
So, I was just thinking about that time when we both had kids, because I know your daughter Elizabeth and my daughter Malia. I mean, or George. Wait, how old is Elizabeth now?
She's 8.
Okay, yeah, she's the same age as Malia.
I think it's Malia.
Yeah, so we had kids the same time. Like, and during this time, I mean, thank God for Facebook. Otherwise, we probably would never have even, at least like we had a way to peer into each other's lives,
Really,
But during that time, I mean, it was a long time that you were just, diving into parenthood and, you took some time off of work. How did, at what point did you have that desire to start working again, and how did you find this career that you're in right now?
It's amazing how, like you said, when you become a parent, things change. And when I became a mom, um, I, I I say, you know what, I can't do this. When my husband say, you know what, when we have children, one of us has to be at home to take care of the kids. So I made the choice and I stayed home for 11 years and just took care of the kids, literally 100% mom, like focus and a housewife. And then when my daughter wasn't going to school, and I said, wow, I was home for a while. This is it. I just stay home and everything looks great. Everything is done. I make dips with my friends, have coffee. Well, you get tired of that. I'm like, well, I don't want to be doing that. I want to do more. I can't just keep doing this. And I have so much, uh, I have a degree, and then I also have such, incredible knowledge of being a manager. And I need to use my skills. So when I went to church, I spoke to one of my friends. I said, look, I'm looking for something that will allow me to have freedom when I don't have to clock in and clock out. I make my own hours and I can give back. I just want to do something that I can give back so that whatever my knowledge I have, I can impact to other people. She said, well, let me think about it. I think I have a friend that works in the financial industry. The way you carry yourself, that might fit you. That's exactly what she told me. I said, oh my gosh, so funny. And then she gave me the number and we connected. And really, that was how I went to the presentation, to the business overview. And when I got there, and knowing who I was in the fashion industry and working in retail for so many years, as a manager for so many years, and when I walked into the environment and I saw, wow, these are all professionals, I said, this is where I want to be. Like, I didn't even know what was going on, what they were going to tell me about the business. I just loved the environment. And that was it. And that was how I switched. And I said, I'm going to relaunch my career. And whatever I have to do to be like these people, I want to do it. And that's exactly what I did. And literally started my career in the financial industry.
That's amazing. It's funny how when you intently look for something, the right thing tends to find you, right? Especially, I just find that very, very, um, very interesting how when you intently look for something, the doors kind of just open up and you find your way. And
Yes, yes, it does.
so I wanted to ask you, because during quarantine, like in March, I mean, quarantine started in March, and I was out of work from March through May. Um, what Because I mean, you've been in the business for probably 4 years before I even realized what you're doing, and we were kind of out of touch for such a long time. What compelled you to put me at the top of your 25 list? To
Let
call
me
me.
tell you, it is so amazing. So, like you start talking about Facebook. So I saw you on Facebook. I said to myself, Beverly, I need to get back and find Beverly. I know I said, no matter what, she's a musician, she's out there. I know I'll find her. I know. So I typed Beverly and I put your last name because I know how to spell your last name, and then it came up. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can find her. So I found you on Facebook. But then I just say, how are you doing? I said, oh, she has 2 kids. Oh my gosh. Because I didn't know you had kids. I'm like, oh my gosh, she has 2 beautiful children. Oh my gosh, she's a mom like me. I gotta find her. And then I went on Instagram and then I said, oh, her kids. But in the business, because you want people that you care about in the business with you, because the business thrives in one market, people that you care about, people that know you. You don't, that's where you thrive in the business. So I said, oh my, I have to talk to Beverly. I said, I have to find a way to find her, get her phone number and chat with her. And then I think I texted you several times on Instagram. I said, hey, send me your contact number. Because I said, I got to get a hold of her. I have to tell her what's going on, find out how I can help her with the kids and kind of give her some tips on what's going on. Because I
You
cared about
it was so funny because like during that time I was off for 2 months. You called me like toward the end of quarantine, like in May, and I was literally sitting on my couch with a pen and a paper, jotting down ideas of how I was gonna increase my income or how I could take, control of my finances. And I was just like, what am I gonna do? And then literally you called and I was just like, when you told me about the opportunity, I didn't even I was not skeptical. I immediately saw it as an opportunity. And I just thank you for that because like um it was the timing was right. I was sitting there looking for it, and like I said, it's interesting when you intently look for something, the doors kind of just open up for you. And I'm so blessed. Like that the timing was right and when you called. I appreciate you so much for thinking.
And I on the other hand too, I'm so blessed and grateful that you trust me enough and take me up on it, because I know that you came aboard on board because you knew me and you trusted me. And that is why that's how our business thrive. It's because you knew me. Aisha is not going to let me do something that is not good for me. She's going to really help me and show me something that will be a good fit. And I'm so glad that you came on board.
You're right, because if I was presented with this opportunity from anyone else, I probably wouldn't have reacted the same way. I
Mhm,
that's very true. So
mhm.
it really is the timing and, just, the circumstance that you're in when you're looking for an opportunity. So, can you give us an idea of exactly what and give the audience an idea of what your mission is, your personal mission on why you're doing this and what you hope to accomplish, over the next, I don't know, 5, 10 years.
Thank you for that question. I don't, that's such a powerful question you just asked me right now. And I think all of us, every single one of us has been given an incredible calling. And the calling is personal and is what keeps us up at night when we wake up at night. And it's important that we capture that and find a way to live through that, because that's where our fulfillment will come from. So this opportunity to me, because I prayed about it, and when I took this opportunity and I saw, wow, this can change my life. And apart from that, because our mission, the crusade of this mission of this industry, particularly our platform, is no family is left behind. And I love that, because my family have suffered a lot of medical tragedies back home. So I feel that my goal, or my mission or crusade in this, is to do my best so that I can be able to build a hospital back home. Really, that's just what I want to do, build a hospital. I know it's a grand dream and desire, but I believe that that's what keeps me up at night, that I need to help people. I need to make a difference. I have to do my part to make a difference. So really, that's the goal, and my mission is to build a hospital, because I feel that if one family doesn't have to suffer what my family went through, because there's no appropriate medical care, or because they cannot afford it, if I can help one family, then you know what, everything will have been worth it. And
That
that's
is so powerful. Like I just appreciate, and I don't think it's people are afraid to have lofty goals like that. Like that is a huge, huge goal. But I have no doubt that you'd be able to achieve that goal. One, because you're just you're relentless. Like you just don't want to stop until you get what you want. And the beauty about this business is you get what you want by helping others. You don't, you know what I mean? Like you don't step on people to get what you want. The more people you help, the more you achieve your goals. So it's just so powerful. And for the audience, for those of you guys who are wondering what platform we work for World Financial Group, which is just it's just a powerful platform. It just makes the opportunity accessible for pretty much anyone. A lot of people who are successful in this business are immigrants from different countries like you, and I just find that so inspiring. So thank you so much for sharing your story with us, and I have no doubt that you will achieve your dreams and beyond. And I'm so proud to be on your team, and I will help you. Whatever I can do to help you, I will do it.
and me too, Beverly. Likewise, you're such an amazing woman and a friend, and I'm just so blessed that we're back on track. I told you, I said your picture hangs on my wall. Isn't it amazing that whatever you put in front of you actually becomes part of your life? Because you're my wedding, you were one of my bridesmaids. Your picture has been hanging on the wall of my house for years, and look at it, we're back on track, and now we're back as moms.
Hmm.
So blessed, and then we're business partners. Wow, I love it
Yes,
so
it's
much.
so much fun. And you know what? Like when this coronavirus, the COVID thing kind of, dies down and I can come to LA to visit finally, I definitely want to do another photo shoot of you.
Ah,
I want to take your picture again and
we're just
just,
getting
capture you and the growth, and we can put a side by side, you
Oh
know.
my
And the
God.
thing is, you don't look like you aged a single day, which is really unfair, by the way. What kind of water are you drinking?
I know, right? Here
I
we
know
are.
it's not tap water because the tap water in LA tastes like chlorine.
I know.
But
Oh my.
anyway, thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming and sharing your story with everyone. I hope it inspires everyone else as much as you inspire me. So,
Thank you, Beverly. You're amazing. Thank you so much.
all right. Well,
Yes, you.
that's it. That's for it for this week's episode, and just stay tuned, subscribe and tune in because we have more and more guests that are going to inspire all of you out there to take action and achieve your dreams. All right. Until next time. Aloha.